If you can afford to buy a Bitcoin or even half a Bitcoin or a quarter of a Bitcoin or a tenth of a Bitcoin or a hundredth of a Bitcoin, do so now before it is too late. In 10 years' time, a single Bitcoin will be the equivalent of the Empire State Building. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm also going to be talking about an up-and-coming privacy-focused cryptocurrency project, which has been exploding in value. I'll let you know about some changes that are happening there and also what I see is happening in the weekly price chart for that cryptocurrency. This is my BitTube channel. Please come and subscribe to me on BitTube, censorship-resistant platform. You can also find me on Odyssey, Library, and BitTube. Follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, and join my official Telegram announcements channel. All the links in the description below. Take a look at this. Apollo, the most secure, simple, and easy-to-use crypto wallet. If you order now, you get 47% off. Use my affiliate link in the description below. They are doing a fundraiser on Kickstarter, and they were fully funded in 19 minutes. It uses the world's highest security certified chip, 100% offline, all the major cryptocurrencies, and over 200,000 tokens. Link in the description below. Now, this is an article from the Coin Republic, and the Coin Republic are an up-and-coming English language news website. I do recommend you go check them out. I'll have their link in the description below. And this article, when I read it, I was like, oh my God, this is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I go through it in detail, and every now and then I'll stop and comment. In 10 years, the thought of any individual person owning an entire Bitcoin will be unfathomable. 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 You won't be able to fathom it. Today's price of $57,000 is nothing. Now, that's when the article was published. It has, at the time of recording, broken through, and it's about $62,000. We are in the middle of a financial system renaissance, and I would argue that even us crypto believers have no idea what is at hand. If you can afford to buy a Bitcoin now, do so before it's too late. In 10 years, a single Bitcoin will be the equivalent of the Empire State Building. In November of 2020, there was a dramatic event that took place. Institutional money finally bought BTC. While it was in the news and the crypto world talked about it, it was truly groundbreaking. Wall Street was in. Even Mass Mutual, an insurance company, took a position. These buys were in the mid-20Ks, establishing a new base. In Q1 of 2021, there was further buying of billions of dollars of Bitcoin in the mid-40Ks by the world's largest investors and financial institutions. This created another new support level. Now, what's important to note is that these investors don't sell off the second the market is down 10 points. They are the ultimate hodlers. The Bitcoin floor price is now 10 feet deep of solid concrete. And this is a really good point. You know, there are people like myself who are been in the game for a while, and we just hodl. I just hodl. I don't care if it drops $5,000 or $1,000 in a second or something like that. I don't care because I have the long-term vision. I'm here for the future. Now, it's the same deal with these investment companies, these large players. They have got the future in mind. Next, you have GBTC and multiple other ETF-like financial vehicles and others opening up every day. Billions of dollars more of new investors are exposed to Bitcoin. Now, everyone with that 401k or IRA can partake. Coinbase is about to go public at possibly the highest valuation of any IPO in American history. Coinbase will have a higher value than the traditional Wall Street firms and banks. Now, that may not happen. It may not have a higher value. It may not be the highest valuation, but it's going to be right up there, which is quite something for an organization, institution in a nascent industry. Yet it's estimated that only 1.3% of the world's population owns any amount of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is only now just reaching launch speed. As Bitcoin matures into an asset class such as gold, bonds, real estate, equities, commodities, the estimates of value on par is in the millions. Just this week, Bloomberg estimated the price of Bitcoin could reach $400,000 by the year's end. Now, this wasn't the estimate of some computer geek in a cave, or some crazy YouTuber. No, this was Bloomberg. Now, if you're looking for more insight from a real expert, I would encourage you to read Layered Money by Nick Bhatia. He summarizes the history of the financial system from the days of the Roman coins to the cryptocurrency revolution in just 166 pages. He perfectly articulates where we are now and where we are going. This is one of the best books I've ever read on the subject. Finally, for some perspective on the scarcity of Bitcoin, there are 7.6 billion people on this planet. There are 21 million Bitcoins. That means there's only enough whole Bitcoin for 0.27 of the world's population, 1/3 of 1%. Now, I would actually say there's even less because the author here isn't taking into account that 1 million of those Bitcoins are in Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. And also, he doesn't take into account all the Bitcoin that have been lost, that are where people have lost the private keys or they can't get into them. So they're actually less than 21 million Bitcoins ever in circulation, because all those lost Bitcoins, they ain't coming back, which means there's even less Bitcoin available for the world's population. Now, if you were to take the total supply by fractions, each person on this planet, would be allocated 276,350 Satoshi, i.e. $160 worth at today's exchange rate. A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. There are 100 million Satoshi to a Bitcoin as there are 100 cents to the US dollar, often referred to as sats. In 5 years, no one will ever say, how many Bitcoins do you have? They will say, how many sats do you have? Go buy that digital empire state building before it's too late. Really great article. Thank you to Chris Terry, who is the business development guy for the project that I'm about to talk about. I'll have a link to this article from the Coin Republic in the description below. Now, what is this project that I'm talking about? I have covered this project before. I covered it a few weeks ago when it had already done a 1,200% increase over the last year. Now, since I recorded that video, it's now done another ridiculous increase where it's gone from about 12.5 cents to about 17 cents in one day. And that increase mimics the increase that had done a few weeks previous to that, when it had gone from about 5 cents to 11, 12 cents. Now, the project in question is Etho1. And as you can see here, this is the weekly candle. And I did the weekly candle just to get an idea of the long-term price movement. And we had resistance at around about 12.5 cents for a couple of weeks or so here, but it's just broken through quite decisively. But on the weekly chart, it did look like we were having an ascending triangle. Now, an ascending triangle where you've got a flat top line, you keep bouncing up against resistance, and an upward sloping upward sloping support line where the price keeps bouncing off. It's generally a bullish pattern. So this is a bullish break like the one we had here. Now, on the daily chart, what we have here is a megaphone pattern, which I don't know much about. So you should let me know in the comments below if you know more about them. And they can be bullish or bearish depending upon the slope of the support line. And here it's upwards. So this would suggest that it's bullish. It would also suggest that it's bullish because of, well, we're in the bull run and we're in alt season, and altcoins like Etho1 move like crazy because of all the money that's coming into the Bitcoin space, but also because of all the growing interest in the fundamental reasons as well, for fundamental reasons. And there are some great fundamentals behind this project, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Now, on the 4-hourly chart, the megaphone pattern looks more like a broadening wedge. This is a continuation pattern that follows the general trend, and the general trend is bullish, as you can see here. So, and it's also really, really good for trading because it's highly volatile. So, it could swing back down to here, then swing back up, but you're getting the swings are being larger and larger and larger and larger. So that's my take on it. Now, let me tell you what's happening with Etho1 and a little bit about Etho1. Now, first off, the Etho1 project is now known as the Etho protocol, and I need to get used to that as well. So the Etho protocol. And what does it do? Well, it allows for decentralized web hosting. So in the way that Parler got shut down during the US election by, I think it was Amazon service, can't be done with Etho1. It's Etho protocol. It's censorship resistant. So you can host your website using the Etho protocol, and it uses the Interplanetary File Sharing System, IPFS. So all the data is decentralized. There's no one central point of failure. And you can also earn passive income by running nodes. And I'll be doing a video in the weeks to come about how to set up a node, because I am going to be setting up a node. This is a fabulous, fabulous project, part of the Blockchain Privacy, Security and Adoption Alliance, all about censorship resistance, all about promoting privacy, all about fighting censorship. Now, there is a big change coming with Etho protocol, and that change is going to have an impact on the NFT ecosystem. You know how NFTs, everybody just crazy about NFTs. Now, Etho protocol was launched 3 years ago. No pre-mine. It's a fork of Ethereum. No dev fund, no team fund, run by volunteers, fully decentralized, who are committed to the ethos of anti-censorship and pro-privacy. The team is made up of several contributing organizations that each are able to contribute in their own decentralized, unique ways. And this has allowed the project to thrive over the last 3 years, while most other projects have either quit or abandoned the blockchain space altogether. Now, there are 3 contributing organizations. There's etho.black, which is core development, etho.blue, business development, and etho.pink, marketing and community management. Now, they've all worked voluntarily for the better part of a 3-year bear market, simply because they believe in what is trying to be achieved. Now, there's going to be an update to the etho protocol blockchain, which is a transition to Atlas. And this is going to be the project's largest update yet and will require a phased deployment. The update is going to allow two major network advancements: the ability to communicate with the wider IPFS ecosystem, and then also to allow for NFT marketplaces and ecosystems to utilize the etho protocol's decentralized data storage and IPFS pinning capabilities in order to take the final step in data permanence and NFT evolution without having to utilize the smaller private IPFS network that is currently deployed on etho nodes. Now, NFTs hold great promise for serious gains, right? However, they have a centralized point of weakness, which etho protocol addresses with its decentralized censorship-resistant platform. And what that does, it keeps the NFTs secure and safe from censorship. And I explain all that in this video, which is part of my Etho 1 playlist. Etho protocol offers the only known decentralized data pinning network in existence that incentivizes data permanence with the revenue generated by the uploaded data itself. Now, if you want to know more about this growing, exciting project, they're always looking for new team members or anyone with a shared belief in democracy and freedom of data. And if you're interested, go join the Telegram group, go join the Discord group. I'll have the links in the description below. Let me know what you think of this. Do you hold any etho? And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.